Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Football here at Princeton High School. Tonight we bring you a matchup on ICRC-TV between the Hamilton Big Blue and the Princeton Vikings here on senior night here at Princeton. Now, I'm Greg Miller, here joined by Frank Edwards. Now, Frank, with the last game of the season for both teams, you know they really want to get a win to end the season right after some tough luck seasons.
Right. Really, this is just leaving it on the field for the seniors. You know, this could be their last time being on the field, so they got to, give it their all, because when they leave the field, this might be their last time ever playing football again.
That is definitely true. And going into this game, who are some of the impact players that you're looking at to step up for both teams?
Right now, I just saw from a super sophomore for Hamilton. I'm wanting to see how he is able to run this Wildcat.
Yeah, Hamilton running the Wildcat offense instead of your traditional passing and running offense. Definitely focus on the ground game.
Yeah, I see from his stats, Keyshawn Stevens, as I was saying, he's attempted 209 times and over 1,000 yards, and that's averaging 5.5 yards per carry. I mean, with the GMC, when you say they've only got one win, the GMC is so tough. When it comes to Cincinnati football, it's the top notch. You got the GCL, GMC. That's cream of the crop in Division I sports.
Definitely, and looking at some of the playoff rankings, you can see, plenty of GMC teams here at the top, looking at whether it's Coleraine, Fairfield, Mason, and though these two teams may not be part of it, they're definitely two teams that have some good players, and if it wasn't for some tough luck forfeits by the Princeton Vikings here early in the season, maybe they could be part of it. Taking a look at the GNC standings, you can see that definitely two of the bottom half teams in the league. Middletown 0-7 in the league, Princeton 2-5 in the league. Princeton coming off a really tough loss to Mason by 3 points last week. Hamilton, very tough week for them, losing to Lakota East 47-14.
Right. Well, it's a bright future, in my opinion, right now with Hamilton having that sophomore. He's only going to get bigger and stronger. And, with Princeton, their record's kind of deceiving because at the beginning of the year, they had those forfeits.
Yep.
So we got about 4 minutes to go here, and with it being senior night, it's a big night here for the seniors here at Princeton High School.
And that'll wrap it up for us for our pregame show. For Frank Edwards, I'm Greg Miller. We'll be right back with the beginning of senior night between Hamilton and Princeton.
Hi, I'm Clark Kellogg. I've attended basketball games from coast to coast over the years as a participant, broadcaster, parent, and fan. And believe me, I've seen my share of unsporting behavior. The purpose of school sports is for kids to have fun, develop their skills, and learn lessons that will last a lifetime. So when you attend a school contest, please keep that in mind. Remember to behave in a way that reflects positively on your child, your school, and your community. Let's respect the game.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Wow, what a snap! Upstairs. Back to throw. He just kind of slinks one out there. It's picked off. He'll draw up the middle. He's got room. 5. Touchdown, Collins.
Time, no pressure. Is going to go to the end zone. Touchdown, Milford Eagles.
Johnny Hill over the middle. He's got Mancini Jackson over Mancini into the end zone. Mancini.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football as we get ready to bring to you this senior night game between the Hamilton Big Blue and the Princeton Vikings. You can see the Vikings start to get out onto the field. The Vikings in their red with gray numbers. Hamilton coming out onto the field with their white jerseys and blue numbers. I'm Greg Miller here with Frank Edwards. Frank, what are your expectations of this game, for being the last game between a tough season for both teams?
It's going to be a wet one, as you can see, and it's going to be ground and pound. Both teams do like to run. Princeton likes to throw the ball a little more than Hamilton does, but with it being the last game of the year, anything can happen. I just know when you were a senior, that was a big thing. If you were an underclassman, to leave it all in the field for those, seniors, regardless of what your record was or is.
Definitely. I mean, for a lot of these players, some of them may go on to play football at a higher level, but for a lot of these kids, this is the last time they get to strap on the pads for a competitive time. So, you wish them all the best and hope the kids can play their hearts out there.
Right, and leave it all in the field because you don't want to go back and say, hey, I didn't give my all. So, that's as a former coach, that's one of the things that I always looked at is just giving your all. That's big for team pride.
Now, Frank, how do you think the conditions out there, will affect the game? Obviously, it's raining, turf field here at Princeton, wet turf, possibly some sliding around. What do you think that's going to do to the game?
Well, just turnovers, regardless of the weather, but turnovers is always key in this game, or in the game of football. So, when I see both these teams, I say the team that has fewer turnovers is going to win the ball game. Princeton's definitely athletic from the game I got to see. OHSAA, number 2, their QB, he likes to throw it and he likes to run it. So it'd be interesting to see what they come out and try to make a statement early in this game.
Yeah, and them being a passing team, that kind of mixes it up against Hamilton's just straight up running attack. What do you think Hamilton has to do to keep Princeton off guard when, as a defense, you can kind of be ready for them to run the ball almost every play?
They have to make sure they have their eyes on pressure and know where the ball's at all times, because if they do end up throwing the ball, you can see how wet it is. They better be able to catch it, because that's, usually most teams tonight's going to have to run the ball, so you're going to see it tonight.
And it looks like we're just about ready here for kickoff. Princeton kicking the ball off right to left to Hamilton. Princeton in their red jerseys, their red homes.
I mean, their record's really deceiving. This is a playoff team if it wasn't for them early forfeits.
Yeah, Princeton with 4 early forfeits due to ineligible player. They went 3-1 in those games, so they could be a team that's 4-5 here at this point as we get the ball kicked off. And it's dropped. He'll take it to the middle, and he's tackled at about the 25.
As we just spoke about, it's going to be with these conditions, they're going to have to be able to hold on to that ball because you don't want to give up turnovers early.
It's definitely true. Hamilton running as you can see, we have the Hamilton and Princeton lineups. Quincy Sims-Marshall listed as a wide receiver, will play some quarterback along with Kyle Sowell. They run a wildcat formation, so you'll definitely see a bunch of different looks from Big Blue here tonight.
And also with it being the last, they might be experienced with some underclassmen, so we might see some new things in there as we first 2 action plays been fumbles, so we'll see what type of night we're going to have.
That's a big loss for Hamilton. They'll be backed up quite a bit. You can see the Hamilton offense here. As I mentioned, Quincy Sims-Marshall, Kyle Sowell, there'll be a lot of guys handling snaps, and it's going to be important for them, as we've seen in the first couple plays, to keep the ball dry and keep the ball off the ground, as it's about 2nd and 16 here from Hamilton's own 19. Snap is clean, and it's a quarterback keeper.
Nowhere to go. They do a good job of pounding, stopping the run inside as they did against the Lakota West a couple weeks ago that I did.
That was number 28, Keyshawn Stevens, on the run, getting stacked up. So long third down for Hamilton right now, and not being a very passing offense, this could be difficult for them.
Yep, they're going to have to be made to throw tonight if that's so far with their first 3 downs here.
So it looks like a straight run. Stevens trying to get out of the pocket, throws a deep shot that is way out of bounds, and it looks like the Big Blue are going to have to line up to punt.
Quick 3 and out there for Princeton. So defense did a good job to get them off the field.
For sure, and like we said earlier, with a team like Hamilton that runs the ball a lot, if you get behind the chains, that's fairly disastrous for teams like that.
Right.
Hamilton lining up in punt formation. Princeton back at about midfield. They'll get good field position to start their next offensive drive. Low punt is caught and taken. There is a flag on the play, though.
Wow, he's breaking all kinds of tackles. That's why he's staying on his feet.
Oh, he's still on his feet.
Yes,
Through about the 17-yard line.
That was a powerful run by number 15, Trey Key. There was a flag on the play.
That was number 15, Trey Key, one of their talented wide receivers. Who
actually, he's a running back, and you can see how slippery he is when he's wet, because you got to break him down and bring him by his legs.
Trey Key, one of those guys that kind of does everything, as there was a block in the back that is going to hurt Princeton here, as they were.
As you can see, his stats were both right, because he gets a lot of throws.
You can see the Hamilton defense here lining up against the Princeton offense. Princeton backed up to their own 45 to start this drive. So a big penalty for Princeton on special teams that'll back them up. Once again, Princeton's quarterback, Jose Hairston, 3rd in the league in passing yards with 808. They'll start with a handoff, and it'll be close to a first down. Trey Key, 9-yard run. It'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Vikings.
Yeah, Jose.
Now to, as you were saying, Trey Key, one of those guys that kind of does it all. 4 rush touchdowns, 4 receiving touchdowns, 4th in all-purpose yards in the league. He's kind of a guy that can do it all for the Vikings.
Right. Jose is go-to receiver. He likes to go to is Wimpy, number 7, the tall receiver. We'll see, but tonight, with it being so wet, he might not be able to go to him as much.
And it looks like another handoff to Key that he is just stuffed at the line. Nowhere to go.
They get a personal foul.
Looks like some helmets are knocked off. Possible personal foul, yeah.
The flag is on Hamilton. It's a personal foul.
So personal foul over there on Hamilton, and that's a tough foul to take early, especially when looks like the Princeton offense is driving a little bit.
Especially after their defense stopped that run there. You got to have your head composed, especially late in the season. Even if what your record is, you still got to play smart.
And another handoff up the middle to number 27, Thomas Boyd, the change pace back. He will get up to about the 25. It's about 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3.
With 3rd grade numbers, it's tough to read from up here. Usually you have the team. That's why you usually see the white or a solid color.
Yeah, these are definitely some interesting jerseys. Definitely tough to read. And the tackle is broken, and it could be for a touchdown, Vikings.
Real easy there. Just a couple missed tackles there, and it was a quick 6. believe that was Trey Key.
Trey Key with his
Number 15, Trey Key.
his 9th touchdown on the year, 5th rushing, and Trey Key setting the tone early for the Vikings with a quick score.
With a little help with that personal foul, I mean, if you don't get that penalty there, it would have been maybe a 3rd or 2nd and long there. So can't give him extra tries.
Yeah, 3rd and 1, definitely a little bit different than a
Right.
1st and 10. So,
but how they run the ball, that 3rd and 1 might have been easy to get anyway. But still, you don't want to give them chunks of yards, especially how wet it is. And
yeah, with how Hamilton's offense has started, points may be tough to come by for them.
right.
Right now, by the numbers, one of the worst teams in the GMC as far as scoring goes. So they're not a team that wants to get down too big early, as the extra point is good. And it is now Vikings 7, Big Blue 0. As you see, the nice run by Key, just splitting out to the left and running past a bunch of Hamilton defenders.
He likes to break it outside, and you know that's one of his strengths. Once he gets it outside, he's slippery. He can bust along.
Now, what does the wet conditions do for a defense as far as tackling? I mean, especially if you have a slippery guy like Key, it's got to be very difficult to tackle someone like that in these conditions.
During practice, this is something both teams know what it's like to play in the rain. They know what they got to do to make sure they wrap up the runner. That's just form tackling. Sometimes it's easier said than done, but that's one of the big things tonight is whoever controls that line of scrimmage is going to usually win the ball game, especially in these wet conditions tonight.
And it looks like the Vikings are getting set to kick it back off to Hamilton for their 2nd offensive possession. Hamilton hopefully looking to get a little bit better of a drive going after they were backed up. Another dropped return, but a couple broken tackles, and the ball is to about the 28. Pretty nice return after dropping the kickoff.
Yeah, his coach is going to let him know because he's flirting with danger there.
Hamilton will have it this time at their own 29, 1st and 10.
You can see how hard the rain's coming down out here. It's been a really wet year this year. It's hard to believe it's already week 10 here in Cincinnati, and football flew right by.
Ain't that the truth? A lot of rain this year, so I guess both teams, at least have some sort of idea of what it's like to play, but you hope to see a couple better nights, and unfortunate that there's been so much rain this year. First down run,
he's not been
broken to the outside, and pushed out of bounds at about the 40-yard line, about a 30-yard gain there.
Nice QB draw there that just ran outside.
Keyshawn Stevens there, the sophomore Wildcat quarterback, just taking the ball to the left. And
you can see what he does, and that's why I'm wondering where the QB spy was, because he wasn't touched until he got to about the 50-yard line. It was a nice run by him.
Great job to read the defense. Handoff here, and he looks to be finally stood up at about the 37-yard line, gain of about 4 there, looking at 2nd and 6.
You can see it's going to be pretty much a QB option. What he sees, what he reads is what he's going to do. And it's going to be either him running or his tailback right now, because they've only had 2 throwing touchdowns all year.
Hamilton looking to the sidelines for the play. Their Wildcat quarterback Stevens barks out some directions. Hill.
Ooh, nice fake, but incomplete.
Quick little fake run.
He had the right idea if he hit him right in stride, because there wasn't a defender by him, but just a little behind his receiver. It's going to bring up a 3rd down, though.
3rd and 6 for the Big Blue. down 7-0 early here in this GMC showdown on senior night. Big third down for Hamilton.
As the bells ring here at Princeton.
Play getting set up, running back moves to the right. It will be another QB run.
Ooh, nice tackle.
Tried to bounce to the outside, but Stevens was brought down for what looks to be no
That run was by number 28, Stevens. Hit tackle made by number 25, Christian Kilgus.
The tackle there
for
by
Hamilton.
Christian Kilgus.
It was a nice solo tackle there.
And it looks like Hamilton is going to keep the offense out there. Go for it on 4th and 6 here in Princeton territory. Motion switched quarterbacks, and it will be a handoff. And he's tackled close to the first down line.
Be close. I think he didn't get it. See where that
That
spot
run was
was.
by number 28, Stevens. Tackled by number 17, Leroy Wilson.
They're going to be measure.
Going to bring out the measuring.
We have
As
to
you saw on that
measure.
play, they actually switched to Caleb Johnson, their other running back, to take the snap. And it was a quick handoff to Stevens. Broke it outside to the left. And it's going to be close.
Just short, maybe.
It will be a handoff.
First down, Vikings.
Oh, and he is just short by a
Just
couple
short.
inches.
My eagle eye came out.
That was a heck of a call there, and you can see on the replay,
It was a 50-50 chance on that one, so I can't take too much on that.
Stevens to the outside and just getting tripped up short of the first down line. And the Princeton offense will come back out after a quick touchdown.
Still a better series of downs there for Hamilton than their first possession.
At least getting their offense going. It'll be interesting to see what Princeton does here on their second drive. 4 runs to start off their night. We'll see if they decide to keep it on the ground here. Another handoff to Key. He will just rumble up.
Hard run by number 15, Trey Key.
Yeah, it was a good solid gain. That left side
Tackled by number 4, Lee.
of the line did a good job
Second
blocking
down
because
for the
he'll
Vikings.
take 9 yards all day.
2nd and 1 definitely set you up for the whole bag of tricks in the offensive playbook, as there's a quick timeout for what looks to be a tying of a shoe maybe. And looks like we're running again for action.
Yep, 7-0 here with 6 minutes to go in this first quarter.
Oh, the fake handoff.
Going to get a hold, maybe.
Yeah, looks like there are 2
That was a
flags
good
here on
run
the
by number 2,
play
Hosea Harrison, but there is
at
a
about
flag on
the
the play.
42-yard
The
line.
flag is on the Vikings for holding.
Holding on the Vikings, and that will back them up. So it will still be 2nd down for the Vikings, as it is now 2nd and 10 for Princeton.
Still see them still pound it. Both these teams like to run the ball.
Definitely a way to mix it up, though, with the QB keeper. I mean, both teams are finding some interesting ways to run the ball here early. Outside run. Breaking a tackle, and is pulled out of bounds.
Hamilton needs to do a better job of getting the first touch to get, because that would have been a loss, but instead it's going to be a first down.
You can see the first broken tackle by Key, and there is a flag on the play. There's a personal foul on Hamilton.
Personal foul on Hamilton.
It's their 2nd personal foul penalty of the night. Looks to be maybe hit out of bounds.
First down!
So Princeton having another first down, and Another penalty to get them deep inside Hamilton territory.
Which he was already going to get that first down at any rate once he busted outside, but Hamilton's got to do a better job because it looks like he was going to have him for a loss, but instead missed tackles.
There's another handoff to the left side. Handoff to number 27, Thomas Boyd. They'll run outside for a gain of 3, as it looks to be 2nd and 7 here for Princeton. About halfway through the first quarter as Princeton leads Hamilton 7-0 here at Princeton High School.
Definitely a busy night here at Tri-State. Some teams trying to get into the playoffs for next week.
Fortunately for these teams, it's just a big game for pride as Princeton is stacked up for a loss. Thomas Boyd there on the run, and he looks to lose about 4 on that play as it's going to be 3rd and 11 here for the Vikings.
Third down for the Vikings.
Nice job inside there, stop the run. From what I've seen a few times, I've seen Princeton, their strengths is when they can run outside. Looks like we're having an audible up.
And it'll be a throw to the left side. Oh, and it is dropped by the receiver. That was intended for number 8, the junior Sterling Burkhalter.
Attention, all Hall of Fame inductees, please be on the field at this time. Make your way to the field. All Princeton Hall of Fame inductees, please make their way to the field at this time.
4th down here. Let's see what they're going to go to. Looks like they're going to keep their offense out.
4th down for the Vikings.
Keeping the offense on the field. We'll see. Back to pass. A deep throw and over the head of the wide receiver, and it will be a turnover to Hamilton.
No, it's just everything else is really loud. Yep.
So it will be 1st down and 10 for Hamilton. Looks like there's something going on the one side. Maybe another untied shoe. Hamilton will take over 1st and 10 with their 3rd offensive possession. It's a quarterback keeper up for about 8 yards. That was once again the Wildcat quarterback Keyshawn Stevens on the run. Hamilton lining up in their normal shotgun again. Stevens takes the snap. Keeping it up the middle again, and it will be a 3rd and 1 for the big blow.
Just one-dimensional. That's, they're going to have to. That's probably one of the reasons why they're sitting at where they're at with the GMC is very tough. Like I said, all the teams top to bottom. In any other league, they're winning more games.
Definitely seems like whether he's playing quarterback or running back, it seems like Stevens has been the guy to carry the ball in most situations, as he'll hand it off here. And it looks to be a 1st down. Oh, and an extra push. Looks like it'll attract a personal foul penalty on the Vikings.
Yeah, as soon as you hear that whistle, you've got to stop because they're quick to pull the flag time.
Sometimes, tough for those kids, want to actually make the tackle when someone's still standing up. Yeah, you really got to stop after you hear the whistle, or the refs will get you every time.
Plus, I think maybe some of the frustration of the season, of what could have been, is also in hands of how some of them flags have been thrown.
That's true. Both teams, having tough seasons, some in different ways than others, as Stevens will take the ball and he'll be tackled by a group of Vikings there behind the line of scrimmage. Second and 11.
That was good penetration there by Princeton.
Second down.
Johnson once again taking the lion's share of the carries here for the Big Blue, and definitely one of their better athletes. So guy you have to key on if you're someone on the Vikings defense. And it looks to be yet another run by Stevens, and he'll get about 3 on the play, making it a 3rd down and 8 for Hamilton. Just about 2.5 minutes left here. 7-0 Princeton, as you can see the replay there. Just not a lot of room for Stevens up the middle.
Right, you know, even if it wasn't raining, this is what they do. I mean, they don't throw the ball much at all.
Rolling out, looks to be a short pass. That is caught, but only for about 2 yards. That pass was caught by the tight end, number 11, Luke Mattia, for looked to be only a gain of 1, maybe 2 yards, and it'll be 4th and 5 for Hamilton, as they'll keep the offense out here on the field.
See if they can get themselves a first down here.
Stevens in at quarterback, looks to be calling out the play. He'll take the snap, roll out to the left. Oh, and just 2 Vikings defensive ends just coming in and taking him for a big sack. Looks to be a loss of about 10. And now Princeton will have the ball at their own 45-yard line.
You can see he had no time to do anything except run backwards and retreat.
Now, why would they, roll him out to his non-throwing side if he's on a 4th down like that? You know, he's got to turn his body. Is it just to try to catch the defense off guard, or maybe just a better sideline?
As you can see, he really doesn't have a strong arm, his throwing. I mean, if that's something he's going to have to work on in the future with him only being a sophomore, is his throwing, because I think it was really just a roll out to see if he could bust out and try to get that first down there. Oh, and there goes number 15, very quick.
Trey Key on the run. He will get about 16 yards and a Princeton first down.
And after that run, that gives Princeton another first down.
See in the replay, just a big hole in the middle there for Key to run through. First and 10 at the Hamilton 39 here for Princeton. The run to the left.
See that cut back and
couple broken tackles. And breaking out for another Princeton first down.
Like you said, Greg, your line's doing a great job blocking, but once he gets outside, if you try to tackle him high, it's not going to bring him down, so they're going to have to do a better job of wrapping him up, because you can see he gets a lot of extra yards.
Look to be about 2 or 3 broken tackles there, as it's another first down as Princeton enters the red zone. Another handoff to Key, and he's tackled for a gain of 4, or I'm sorry, a gain of 6, making it 2nd and 4.
Watch for the QB to keep it one of these times here, and that'll be the bait, setting up the bait so he can get himself a touchdown here. This might be that might have been the last play of the quarter.
See, we got about 10 seconds here in the first quarter. Run right up the middle, and it's a touchdown. Princeton here at the end of the first quarter. As time expires, it is 13-0 Princeton.
And top at good run by number 27 for a touchdown, Thomas Boyd.
Great blocking there by the line.
Thomas Boyd with the touchdown, his 11th of the season. Extra point is up and through. As we reach the end of the first quarter, it is Princeton 14, Hamilton 0 here at Princeton High School on senior night. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but come right back for more Friday Night Football here on ICRC Sports.
We would like to take this opportunity to recognize our 12 inductee class into the Hall of Fame. First up, Mr. James Brown, 1984 graduated team.
Hi, I'm Clark Kellogg. I've attended basketball games from coast to coast over the years as a participant, broadcaster, parent, and fan. And believe me, I've seen my share of unsporting behavior. The purpose of school sports is for kids to have fun, develop their skills, and learn lessons that will last a lifetime. So when you attend a school contest, please keep that in mind. Remember to behave in a way that reflects positively on your child, your school, and your community. Let's respect the game.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
You made her college years possible, opening that education savings account when she was little, spearheading campus tours, and deciphering financial aid. If you can ace planning for college, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
And we are back here at Princeton High School on senior night for the Princeton Vikings. It is Princeton 14, Hamilton 0 as Princeton scored right at the conclusion of the first quarter. And they will kick it back off to the Big Blue. I'm Greg Miller here with Frank Edwards on ICRC Sports. Princeton in their red, kicking off to Hamilton in their white. Looks to be more of a squib kick. A little break to the outside. And a big return there for Hamilton. That was number 16, Elijah Scott, the senior wide receiver, with the big return. And Hamilton will start with their best field position so far of the night on their own 47-yard line.
Some stats for that first quarter. First downs, Hamilton had 3, Princeton had 7. Rushing yards, 123 for Princeton and 34 for Hamilton. So as we said, it's going to be with the weather inclined. It's going to be a
2 total passing yards in the first quarter, so that might be a look to see how the rest of the game goes. As a run is taken for maybe a yard, look to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. That's number 14, Caleb Johnson on the run.
Nice job by the Princeton defense. Both teams kept the ball about equal amount of the time in that first quarter.
Now, Frank, what do you think Hamilton has to do to get back in the ball game in the second quarter, as there's a flag?
They're going to have to stop the penetration of both running backs on Princeton's side of the ball, and that's going to start at the big defensive line, or big offensive line by Princeton. You can see they're controlling the game, and that's the trenches. Whoever controls the trenches in this game is going to win, and you can see who's controlling so far.
Princeton definitely with the edge, as there was a false start on the right side of the Hamilton line. It will be 2nd and 15 here for the Big Blue. A run to the right side, and it'll be a big gain, about 10 yards for the Big Blue by number 28, Keyshawn Stevens.
Yeah, there's no secret who their go-to guy is, so that's why Princeton's got to keep an eye and a QB spy on him.
Personal foul. There looked to be a flag thrown at the end of the play. It'll be a personal foul on Princeton, and Hamilton getting a big first down. 3rd and 5 versus 1st and 10. That's a big change for the Hamilton offense.
I believe that's the 3rd or 4th personal foul we've had in this first half so far, too.
That is the 4th. I believe 2 on each team so far, so all on defense, and it's definitely cost both defenses so far early. Another run here by Stevens for about a gain of 5. Now, Frank, what do you think causes these personal foul penalties? You know, you would think at the end of a season a team would be a little bit more disciplined. Why do you think there's been such a run?
Both frustration and, timely tackling. They got to make sure to stop when that whistle blows, but also the frustration of a long season.
That's true for sure, as both teams struggling. Hamilton 1-8, Princeton 2-7, with 3 wins forfeited early in the season. So both teams unfortunately having their season end tonight. But
you can see from last week with Mason and only losing by 3 points. So they're definitely a tough team, and I've always said it, like I was saying beginning before we started our broadcast, Cincinnati football, GMC, GCL, this is top-notch Division I football.
And I mean, they would have a chance to be a 500 team, as there's a run for the first down by Johnson.
Well, I even think their season would have been different if you say you take with them forfeits. A couple of those losses probably don't happen.
That's true. You wonder what the mindset is, coming out a couple weeks after, finding out that you've forfeited a couple games. It's definitely tough on those kids, a few close losses too for Princeton. As there'll be a stop at the line. Stevens running again for no gain. Princeton actually losing their last 2 games by identical scores of 16-13. So, those forfeits don't happen. A couple balls bounce their way. They can be in good
Milford's
shape.
a playoff team, and they beat them and then had to forfeit. Withrow they beat. Coleraine, obviously, that's a whole different animal, but it just shows you where they'd be sitting right now. But all they can do is play for the now, and the underclassmen build for the future and play it all for the seniors right now for being senior night.
3rd down here for Hamilton as they enter into the red zone. 3rd and about 5. Another run by, once again, number 28, Keyshawn Stevens. He'll get a few yards, and it will be 4th down for Hamilton. Looks to be 4th and 2.5 yards.
I was always a big believer on 4th and short or 4th and goal wide, go shotgun and make it a longer run when you can just go right under the center. But
especially with it raining and whatnot, might just cause more trouble, as there is a fumbled snap, and it is jumped on. And Hamilton will recover it, but either way, it's a turnover on downs. And as you can see, some of the issues with the shotgun, not just a longer way to go, but, the chance to fumble it on the center quarterback exchange.
Right.
Princeton will take over here at their own 28, 1st and 10, leading 14-0 with just under 8 minutes left in the half. Run by number 15, Trey Key, looks to lose about 2 yards on that play.
If Hamilton can do a better job containing on the outside, they've been able to stop the run inside for the most part, but it's those big, long outside runs has been their Achilles heel tonight.
Seems like most of Princeton's offensive playbook has been handed off to Key to the left and let him get outside and try to break some tackles.
Well, if it's not broke, why do you got to fix it? You know, that's something.
Play action pass. It is rolled out and caught. And a couple broken tackles and another flag near.
Be our 5th personal foul, I believe.
Looks to be maybe a horse collar tackle.
Horse collar or personal foul, or both. Let's see. Personal foul.
Flag is on Hamilton. Personal foul. Face mask.
Wow, it's a big one.
Big one there, as it could have been 3rd down. Now it's first down for Princeton as they move into
Was that the Viking horn there?
About midfield. Yeah, they have the Viking horn here.
Because I haven't heard that all night, and I was like, what is that? Great facilities they do have here, though. It's state of the art.
Princeton will hand it off again, and they are stuffed at the line. Another run by number 15, Trey Key. Now, Key looks to be one of the shorter running backs on or one of the shorter players on the field. How do you think that affects Hamilton, you know, with him kind of being smaller and maybe not easy to see behind that offensive line?
I don't think his size has anything to do with it. It's all about those feet and how he moves.
A run to the left by Key, and he'll get about 2 yards to the outside, and it'll be a 3rd and 8 here for Princeton.
You can see from the monitor by how this rain's going to be affecting everybody, and I tip caps to the camera crew and everybody out there. It's fighting that elements because it's definitely a downpour out there.
Yeah, you know, we're happy to be up in the press box, but you look at the camera crew and our producer Josh Semsrott, who's been running around like a madman, you know, and all the volunteers here at ICRC Sports, working hard on a rainy, cold Friday night.
Yep, and if you ever, almost a fake halfback pass there and decided to run it.
Run up the middle, and he'll be stopped just short of the first down marker.
That cold rain, you can see it too.
Yeah, it's raining enough that you can even see it on the monitor over here. So
here you got just he was thinking about doing.
That's from one of the earlier plays when he got his touchdown early in the first quarter. 4th and 2 here for Princeton. And it looks to be a handoff to Key.
Ooh, they got him stopped.
And they look to have stuffed him.
But they got better stop. They're going to get a penalty again. Whew. Better be careful.
Yeah, a lot of running. And there looks to be an injured Viking on the field.
That's Trey Key. Hopefully he's okay. We'll see.
Would be a big loss for the Vikings. Trey Key, you know, one of their top runners. Him along with number 27 Thomas Boyd, you know, kind of sharing the running back load.
Here's replay. Here's that fake, and then he decided to run it, which was a smart decision.
Alrighty, now as we wait for the injured player Trey Key to get attended to, we are going to throw it to commercial. We'll be right back here for Princeton and Hamilton here at Princeton High School on ICRC Sports.
usa.gov/the-right-seat.
Impressive.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Titans, go!
Cuando los Teen Titans van al cine, ellos saben que la mejor forma de viajar es estar seguros. Para mantener seguro a tu hijo, asegúrate de usar el car seat correcto para su edad y tamaño.
Exactly.
Hollywood, here we come! The Atom has arrived!
Have a seat, my dude.
Para más información acerca del car seat correcto, visita nhtsa.gov/protegidos.
Impressive.
Presentado por the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration y el Ad Council.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
And we are back here on ICRC Sports midway through the second quarter. Princeton leading Hamilton 14-0. That is senior running back Trey Key for the Princeton Vikings getting taken off. Looks to be ankle injury as he is carried off the field by some coaches. Really tough break for the running back here for the senior running back on senior night to be carried off with an injury. Hope it's nothing serious. Hamilton will take over here, 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line after the big 4th down stop. Fumbled snap. And it looks like that was number 28, Keyshawn Stevens, who was somehow able to slide back to the line of scrimmage to...
As you can see from the screen, the rain's even picked up even heavier, and it ain't gonna ease up any.
And Hamilton with a few early fumbles on the center quarterback exchange, so definitely something that you're gonna have to keep in mind for the rest of this game. Snap, quick pass to the tight end, and he will rumble forward for what looks to be a Hamilton 1st down. That was number 11, Luke Mattia, with the junior tight end with his 2nd catch of the night, and it is a Hamilton 1st down.
2 passes and 2 of them to the tight end so far. Nice play call there by...
Well, 2 pass completions. You know, they couple passes early, but like you said, quarterback only throwing some short passes as a handoff is taken for about 5 yards by number 14, Caleb Johnson.
Tackle made by number 7, Shadane Whitney, 2nd down for Hamilton.
The tackle there by number 7, Jermaine Wimpy, the senior wide receiver and safety. Usually one of Princeton's big receiving threats. No
nice
catches
move
so far. As a quick run up the middle.
Some scores to mention here. Coleraine is up on Dakota West, 21-0 at the end of the 1st quarter, and Winton Woods is up on Moeller, 14-0 in the 1st quarter.
Nothing really shocking to see in the GMC. You see GMC football, you usually see Coleraine winning and winning big.
Yeah, it's definitely impressive for how long they've done that for.
Oh, and another fumbled snap by Stevens, and he'll jump on it for a big loss of about 10 there by Hamilton. Now, Coleraine, as we mentioned, actually ranked nationally, so they're not only one of the top teams, you know, in the GMC and in Cincinnati, but in the nation.
Snap there. It's tough with that rain, and that was a great job by being able to recover. That would have been a long fumble recovery touchdown for Princeton.
Looked like he tried to grab it, and then when he couldn't get the handle on, just kind of tried to jump on it to, avoid Princeton from getting the football.
It was a hard snap, too, at that.
Stevens looks to take the snap. And he will throw it.
Pass is complete to number 13, Bowling.
That's number 13, Darren Bowling, the sophomore wide receiver for his first catch of the night. Only a couple yards there, and it'll be 3rd and very long for the Big Blue.
Yep, with 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go in this first half. Princeton's up 14-0 here.
With both teams running a lot, this first half has definitely flown by. Be interesting to see what... Oh. Hamilton pushed back.
We're going to have a fumble.
Looking like a fumble, yep, and they'll call it Princeton football.
Number 19, the big fella, Darion Henry with the fumble recovery.
Number 19, Darion Henry with the fumble recovery. You can see Henry, just a menace in the backfield, just grabs him and rips the ball out. Sacks, nothing new to Henry. He is actually tied for 2nd in the GMC with 7 sacks this year. That'll be his 8th, and a big play for the Vikings.
So you can see if they can try to put some more points before the first half ends here.
Only about 2 minutes left. They'll hand the ball off to the right. Not a whole lot of running room. And they're pushed out of bounds. Thomas Boyd on the rush there. Looks like he'll lose.
Boyd's going to get most of the duties here now with Key out. Loss of 2 there, just tried to get outside, and he's more of the power back. Key's more of that bounce outside quick back.
Now, before this game, Boyd actually had been the top rusher on the team with 675 yards. Key has been coming on as of late, though, and both running backs averaging almost 6 yards a carry. They're both big players in this Princeton offense. 2nd and 12 for the Vikings. Oh, fumbled snap.
Snap was recovered after the fumble in the backfield by number 2, Hosea Harrison. 3rd down.
Hosea Hairston with the quick fumble recovery. You can see on that, just right through his hands, tough conditions. You can see the ball is soaking wet, and quarterback just jumps on that, and it'll be about 3rd and 17. A long 3rd down for Princeton, as looked to be a little confusion of what the play is.
I think they're content with going at a half, 14-0 right now. But as I say that, but no, then QB is going to try to, smart decision by him.
Not a whole lot down the field, just trying not to take a snap, or trying not to take a sack, but he'll get a couple yards on the play, and Hamilton will take a timeout here.
Wow. Kind of surprised on that timeout with the conditions and it only being two scoring possession ball game right now for Hamilton.
Definitely got to wonder the risk, as Hamilton has dropped a couple of kickoffs, and you
exactly
wonder
what I was thinking was that you said that.
Wonder what kind of 2-minute offense Hamilton has as well, with their primarily running offense. You can see on that last play, just getting bared down upon by the Hamilton defense.
Yeah, it was just a smart decision, because we'll see what Hamilton does here, and with it being 4th down, he's probably telling his punt returner now, unless you can get a good grab on it, stay away from it, because you don't want to muff this punt and then give them a turnover right on and score right before the end of the half. So we'll see what they do here. That's why that timeout was a safety timeout, maybe. Just let his guys know.
Princeton getting into punt position. Late add to the line there on the punt. Oh, and a penalty there. Yep, that's a false start against Princeton, and it'll back them up another 5 yards. Good punt there by number 33, Robert Rutherford. He'll look to try to repeat that and pin Hamilton back deep so they don't have a chance to get back into this game before the end of the first half. Short punt this time, and it'll go out of bounds. They'll mark it at the about 45-yard line.
Yeah, kicked off the side of his foot, so we'll see if Hamilton can have a little effort here to put some points before half. There's only 1 minute left, but end of the year doesn't hurt trying.
Conditions once again playing a big role in this game. Do you think the conditions had anything to play with the kind of rough punt by Princeton?
Obviously.
Played a big role. A lot of tough snaps, some muff returns, and now a short kick by Princeton as Hamilton will have the ball with about a minute to go. There'll be a rollout, and he's still not down.
But like you were saying about that with the conditions, you've seen the first punt, like you said, it was a good punt, so he was able to do it. But give him another try with it being a penalty, then instead of being the ball on the 30, he's got it up at the 45. But Hamilton's not been able to. Been able to have big chunks. The passes they have had has been just little tight end dumps, really. So nothing laterally up the field. Partly because of the weather and partly because they don't throw the ball.
And we have another timeout here by Hamilton with just 46 seconds to go in the first half here. Princeton 14, Hamilton 0 here at Princeton High School on senior night here on ICRC Sports.
Kind of shocked these timeouts because it's been the longest of the whole half, you know, and I guess they're just burning them up because they can't take them with them.
That's true. Every time I look up, it seems like there's been about 5 minutes off the clock.
Right. These last minute is, I guess they like being in the rain and that cold rain.
It's another reason to keep the game going fast. I'm sure as much as everybody out there loves football, nobody likes cold rain. Hamilton coming back out here for a 2nd and 14. It'll be a handoff. Looks to be a end around. Number 13, Darren Bowling. 1 reception so far, but he'll take the run on the end around.
Wow. I was shocked that there was no contain on the outside, knowing that Hamilton doesn't throw the ball, but might be all for nothing anyway.
We'll see what they call on the penalty. Oh, no, they're calling a face mask on Aaron Coates for Princeton.
You can see here this end around, the defensive end doesn't contain, and he's able to get outside.
Oh, and there looked to be a missed hold there by
it was close.
Number 14, Caleb Johnson, but instead it'll be a face mask on Princeton, and Hamilton will have some good field position here with 37 seconds.
Got a couple chances to throw at least into the end zone.
Be a deep throw. Oh, and tipped and just over the head of 3 Princeton defenders.
You can see how the QB kind of just wings it. You know, he doesn't have a pure quarterback throw. Just watch how he just not follow through. It's a little.
Oh, just tipped off number 16's hands and just over the reach.
If I'm Hamilton, I'm going a couple times to the end zone and Hail Marying it up.
Be interesting to see whether their quarterback Stevens has the arm and whether these passes are because of a lack of arm strength or just because of the conditions in the wet football.
Nah, you can see from all season there's only been 2 touchdown passes, so. But he does a great job running the ball. He's only a sophomore, so he's got a bright future.
Run up the middle, and Hamilton first down with only 22 seconds here.
With 1 timeout, let's see.
Clock is ticking now.
Well, I don't know why you run it, though. That makes no sense.
Another run by Stevens.
Now you got to burn that timeout when he could have just spiked it and saved him. But that's all with, you got to remember, he's only a sophomore, you know. That's something he'll grow on and he'll learn as he gets older.
Hamilton taking a timeout with 11 seconds here, and you got to wonder.
Say he spikes it and there was 20 seconds, you know, he gives him an extra play or 2. Now they've got, at best, 2 shots at the end zone.
You can see number 84, Zach Welk, warming up on the sidelines. Be interesting to see how much further they need to get in order to get him into field goal range.
Yeah, I honestly believe it's all end zone time because they've had a couple chances at this spot to go for a field goal and they didn't. But this minute has been the longest minute of the whole game.
That's for sure. It seems like there have been about 3 quarters so far in this game. The first quarter, the first 9 minutes of the second quarter, and then the last couple minutes here of the half.
Second down for Hamilton.
Stevens looking to throw. Just a quick shot down.
That'll be the last play of the half.
And that'll be a quick pass and the end of the first half. Here. At the end of the first half, though, it is Princeton 14, Hamilton 0 here at Princeton High School for Friday Night Football on ICRC-TV. You'll see coming up as the players start to head to the locker room, you'll see the early run by Trey Key, the senior running back for Princeton. And then that run by Thomas Boyd, the sophomore running back. And those two running touchdowns are the difference here as we go into halftime with the score 14-0. We'll be back to you at the beginning of the second half, and we're going to throw it to commercial.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals
25.
Good job!
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
If you smoked, this new lung cancer screening could save your life. Visit SaveByTheScan.org.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew? Don't do it like that, Uncle Drew! You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride. Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the
Nah, gotta get the boys.
your dream vacation, and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary. I keep buckets. Get the tips you need to get on track at acretirement.org.
Can we get strawberries? Okay.
If I play sports for my school, I'll learn how to be part of a team.
I will have more friends. I will be active now and when I'm a grown-up. I will learn how to work hard.
I'll have better attendance.
I'll learn how to overcome adversity. I'll be more likely to go to college. I will learn how to get along with others. If I play sports for my school. If I play sports for my school. If I play sports for my school.
I must learn to be a good student during school if I want to put on my uniform after school.
daughter of Melvin.
Welcome back to Friday Night Football here on ICRC-TV. I am Greg Miller along with Frank Edwards. Princeton with the 14-0 lead at the beginning of the second half, as you see the Hamilton and Princeton players so far in the first half. Princeton with 14 points in the first quarter, no other scores aside of that. Trey Key with the 25-yard run and Thomas Boyd with the 14-yard run. So far, looking at some stats, Hamilton with 9 first downs, Princeton with 8. Hamilton with 73 rush yards, Princeton with 124. Passing yards, 23 total between both teams. So not a whole lot between those teams, both running the ball heavily, especially Hamilton with their Wildcat offense and Princeton with their 2 great running backs. Trey Key, the Princeton running back, left with an ankle injury in the second quarter. Will be interesting to see if he comes back.
Yeah, really, just with both teams trying to finish out this next half without any injuries.
As you look around the league, you can see Colerain, the #1 team, is beating Lakota West 28-0. Mason and Fairfield in a game right now. In Fairfield, Mason up 10-6. Sycamore playing Lakota East. Lakota East up 14-7.
They can all change. Right now, Moeller is down to Winton Woods 14-0. And they haven't updated the last 25 minutes, but that's being played right over at Lackland Stadium. Right now, even the 9-10 teams, it's in this region, can sneak in. It just depends on those second-level points. It's interesting to see what teams will make the playoffs tonight. The harder the schedule and the more wins in that harder schedule, usually you'll make the playoffs, even with having losses. It's like St. X a few years ago that won state going into the playoffs 5-5.
That's true. Also, just to clear up the last score in the GMC, Middletown up on Oak Hills 14-7, trying to get their first conference win in the GMC. You can see Princeton 2-7 overall, 2-5 in the GMC, but that does include 4 games forfeited, 3 of those wins. So they would be 4-5 without the forfeits. Hamilton coming in at 1-8 overall, 1-6 in the GMC. Their only win coming over Middletown just a few weeks ago. Hamilton received the first half kickoff, so Princeton will be receiving. We are at Mancuso Field at Viking Stadium here in Sharonville High School on the campus of Princeton High School. Hamilton in their white jerseys and white helmets with blue pants. Princeton in their red home jerseys with gray numbers, red helmets, and red pants. Hamilton getting ready to kick off here to start the second half in a 14-0 Princeton lead. Here on a rainy night in Sharonville. Little squib kick that will go out of bounds, and that will be a penalty on Hamilton for a kick out of bounds.
A lot of the same we'll see in the start of this second half. The only difference is with Trey Key out with his injury.
One of the other big stats to look, a lot of penalties in the first half. 5 personal foul penalties, 3 by Hamilton, or I'm sorry, actually 6. 3 by Hamilton, 3 by Princeton, a couple of those being face masks, but both teams losing a lot of ground defensively because of those personal foul penalties.
As you can see, the rain's still coming down hard out there.
Princeton on 1st and 10 will hand it off to the right. And that play is going nowhere. Looks to be maybe a loss of a yard. Thomas Boyd on the run there. The sophomore running back. He has had most of the highest amount of Viking carries, but he's going to have to shoulder pretty much the entire load in the second half with Trey Key going out with an injury in the second quarter.
The QB can run too pretty good, so watch for Hosea to run the ball, and there's a little end around.
End around will be tripped up at about the 39-yard line.
Tackle made by number 21, Punt. Third down for the Vikings.
Bring up a big third down here in this start of the third quarter.
Hamilton looking to get back into this game. This will be a pivotal third down if they want any chance to get back into this game early in the third quarter, down 14-0. Quick pass out to the right. And he'll try to do a pitch, but he'll lose the ball, and it will go to Hamilton. Interesting decision to try to lateral the ball back to a teammate there on third down, especially in white conditions.
Yeah, we'll see a replay. I wasn't sure if he did try to lateral, if he did. Yeah, definitely not a smart decision there.
Trying to just push the ball back to the quarterback. It ends up losing it, and ball's jumped on by Hamilton, and they'll have great field position here at about the 32-yard line.
Trips right. Now they're going to get to fourth here.
Quick throw. That is caught.
It's completed. And they're going to get a
running
touchdown.
Out to the left, and it will be a touchdown Hamilton by number 13, Darian Bowling.
Big play.
That's a touchdown for Hamilton.
I think it shocked everybody seeing that pass there, and it was a nice play. Nice draw up there by the Hamilton coaching staff.
Hamilton, not a team that throws the ball a lot.
Only third touchdown, toss touchdown of the whole year.
And you can see rolling to the right and just a quick throw out.
You can see how unorthodox his throw is. So
nice catch there by Bolin, and then once he gets it and breaks that first tackle, he is gone. Ball is down and kick is up, and after a turnover and a quick score by Hamilton, we got a game again. Princeton 14, Hamilton 7 with less than 2 minutes into the third quarter. Once again here, senior night at Princeton High School, the 10th and final game of the regular season, final game of both of these teams' seasons, with them not going to qualify for the Ohio High School playoffs. So big night for both teams, and definitely a game that they're both going to want to win. As you see a shot out there. Oh, wrong camera. Greg Miller, Frank Edwards hanging out here in the press box at Pat Mancuso Field here in Sharonville, Ohio. You can see how nice the press box is.
Nice and dry.
Some of these press boxes, you're kind of standing out in the elements. But here in the brand new, only a couple months old facility, we are nice and warm and away from all of the elements tonight.
So change of events here in this beginning of this third quarter.
Hamilton, no points in the first half, but a quick score. And another quick shot that is fumbled on the squib kick. It'll be interesting to see who they say gets the ball.
Princeton recovers.
Princeton recovers.
Still, it was pretty close.
Almost another pivotal play for Hamilton there. As they almost get the ball on a fumble, score a touchdown, and then get the ball right back. Now, Frank, how does a play like this affect the momentum of the game? It looked like Princeton kind of had all the momentum in the first half, scoring twice, having a big lead.
It's just second half adjustments and seeing what each coach is going to try to change here. And, with having Key with that injury, you can see they're going to have a couple players step up on the other side of the ball because you can see that he was their go-to running back. But they do have key players that can step up. And
now Boyd is their leading rusher, but Key definitely seemed to be the more effective runner in the first half. But like we said, most of the offense will go on the shoulders of Boyd and Hosea Hairston, the Princeton quarterback.
And I'm not sure if that's from some of their skewed with their forfeits, but the 2 games I've seen, Key has been the key running back.
And that'll be number 15, Trey Key. And just as we mentioned, he looks to be back in the game. Looked to be a scary injury in the first half as he was pretty much carried off by the coaching staff. But
he's a senior.
The leg looks to be okay.
And like I was saying before, he's wanting to leave it all on the field.
And it's it's a great sight. You never want to see anyone get injured, and especially not on a big night like senior night. As he'll get the ball again and get about 2 yards. And you can just see how hard he's been running. Every time. I mean, only 2 yards there, but he ran about 12 to only get 2 yards. You can see on the replay over there, just Key fighting for extra yards, trying to get to the outside, but good tackling there by Hamilton. Had some trouble with tackling in the first half, but it seems like they've shored that up.
Big third down here.
Third down, Key up the middle. He'll break a tackle. He'll get to the outside. Stumbles a little bit, but he looks to be, almost gone. One man to beat and just got tripped up.
Wow. I was waiting to see that block in the back there, but there was no flag on it, so.
And after that run, that leads to a Viking first down.
Nice run.
Got the Viking first down. You got the Viking horn coming back out again.
Just a couple missed tackles there.
You can see number 21 there, Leandre Pope, one of the big interception men, 3 picks for him on the year, but he makes a good play and a touchdown saving play for the Big Blue. But it is still 1st and goal for the Vikings on the 4-yard line with a chance to retake a 2-score lead. Handoff to Key, spins out of 1 tackle. And
got to tackle him low.
And run by number 15, Trey Key.
Second down for Princeton here.
Second and goal for the Vikings.
Once again, heavy run for Princeton. Only 3 passes attempted for them in the first half. And you'd think with one of the top passers in the GMC, Hosea Hairston, they'd throw more, but
with the weather and how it's a lot easier said than done with this, with how that downpour is coming down. Gonna get a timeout here.
Timeout for Princeton. Looked to be the play clock was running low, so they'll have to burn one of their timeouts early here in the second quarter, or I'm sorry, the third quarter. Princeton 14, Hamilton 7 after a Princeton fumble and a 32-yard Hamilton pass touchdown to number 13, Darian Bully, from number 28, Keyshawn Stevens. Once again, this is the last game of the season for both teams. Senior night for Princeton here in Sharonville. As you see the band having a good time. Senior night for some of those kids out there too. Maybe some Halloween costumes on right there.
Yep, it is almost Halloween, right?
That's true, Wednesday.
It's one of your favorite holidays, ain't it?
Oh, definitely. There's nothing that I love more than some candy.
I like candy too.
And it's a touchdown for the Vikings. And look, there's some candy right there for the Princeton Vikings as number 27, Thomas Boyd, will run in for his 12th touchdown of the year.
Number 27, Thomas Boyd. Extra point on his way.
So Key does all the work and Boyd just puts it in there. Nice.
Boyd definitely the power back there as he just kind of rams the ball in. Extra point up and good.
Number 12, Bryce Burkhead. It was 7 minutes and 43 seconds left of the third quarter. Princeton Vikings 21, Hamilton 7.
Only a little over 4 minutes gone in the second half, and we've had as much scoring as we did in the first half. 14 points in the first half for Princeton, and then 7 each in the second half so far, as it is 21-7 Princeton. Princeton heading out to kick off to Hamilton here. Hamilton has had their issues with fielding some of these kicks early, so this could be an interesting play. A couple fumbles on both sides, so special teams game very important for both teams. Low kick is booted, and it will go out of bounds. Almost looked like it was going to be fielded, but smart play by the Hamilton backman to hold off and let the ball trickle out of bounds for a penalty and some good field position here for Hamilton.
Hamilton will take over on the 35-yard line, first down.
Ball will go up to the 35-yard line after the penalty. Wildcat quarterback Keyshawn Stevens in the backfield.
And they haven't ran the Wildcat tonight. That's what's so funny about it. Guess against Coleraine they did.
Quick throw and run out to the side. Maybe they think it's more of the running back, because when you have number 28 handling the ball.
Mm-hmm. You're right, and they're doing a lot more throwing tonight too.
Yeah, quick little screen pass there. That was number 16, Elijah Scott, on the catch.
You can see this unorthodox throw here. He just wings it. It's kind of...
Wow, that throw was definitely a wobbler, but nice catch by Scott and able to get a few yards.
They call it the wobbler throw.
Ball will be, no, not handed off. It'll be a keeper, and Stevens goes to the outside.
You see number 14, if he would actually hand it to him, there wasn't another defensive end over there. He'd still be running right now.
Seems like Stevens has had a lot of read options in which the quarterback has kept the ball, but it will be 3rd and about 3 here for Hamilton as they try to match the score again by Princeton in order to make it just a 7-point game. Oh, fumbled snap and nowhere to go for Stevens as they are backed up. Loss of about 6 on the play, and it will be 4th down.
The Elements come back yet again.
As the punt team heads out for Hamilton. And you can just see with the Elements, just the ball slips right through his hands and not a whole lot you can do out there. Hamilton setting up in punt formation. Low snap, but it is booted away. Kind of a low punt. But gets out there and is downed at about the Princeton 34-yard line. They'll take over.
Ball is down. Vikings will take over first down.
Halfway through the third quarter here on ICRC-TV. We have Princeton 21, Hamilton 7. Once again, the 2-7 Vikings against the 1-8 Big Blue of Hamilton.
Yep, 6 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Snap, handoff to Key, trying to get left, and he will get stuffed, not able to get to the outside, and looks like no gain there.
Yeah, with the short side of the field, he didn't have a lot to work with. We'll see if he tries to go to the other side here in this next down.
Princeton seems to be very comfortable running the ball to the left side on the majority of their runs, even with the short side of the field.
Yep.
Maybe just comfortability, or think they believe in
tackle. Probably that big number. You can see how big he is over there, number 75.
Yeah, big number 75. As you see the run up the middle. Oh, I'm sorry, that's big number 79, Elijah Hale. He is 6'4", 285, the senior.
And a couple big ones on there, for guard and tackle.
Run up the middle by Key, and it will be third down for the Vikings. Third and about 7.
Big third down here. Looking for an audible here.
Check to the side. He'll motion, Jose will motion Key over to the left. And it'll be a quick throw that is batted down, almost picked off.
Pass was intended for number 5, Aaron Coates Jr.
Aaron Coates Jr., the senior wide receiver, was the intended target.
You can see, looks like Hamilton had this red.
Quick look, and almost picked off by the safety, sophomore Dylan Lee.
Fourth down, so it'll be a punt here for Princeton.
See how the punter looks. Really nice punt on a punt that was called back due to a false start, but a little bit of a wobbler on his second attempt. Almost blocked, but looks like a fair catch was called by number 28, Keyshawn Stevens, the quarterback, punt returner, kind of do-it-all man for Hamilton. You can see punt is
just needed to lay out.
Just missed by number 16, Elijah Scott.
If he would have laid out, he would have. He just didn't. Just ran, I guess. Game of inches this game is.
That's the truth. 1 fourth down for Hamilton, missed by a couple inches, and 1 punt block missed by a couple inches as Stevens tries to go left and does fight forward for a couple yards.
That run by number 28, Stevens. Forced out of bounds by number 24, Jaheed Thomas. Second down for Hamilton.
Second down and about 7 here for Hamilton as we approach 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Ball is handed off up the middle.
Nice run.
Nice run there by Caleb Johnson. And there have been a lot of fake handoffs to Johnson, so it seems like when he gets it, he catches the defense a little bit off guard.
You can see the interior. Nice little play here. Found his hole and gained a good chunk.
First down for Hamilton. quarterback keeper. It looks like it's going nowhere.
Nice job by the defense keeping an eye on him.
The big guy, number 19, Darion Henry. Tackles at the backfield.
Darion Henry.
Second down for Hamilton.
The big defensive lineman for Princeton there on the stop. Henry 6'6", 270. Definitely a load to deal with there on the defense. Quick screen pass there. That one is to number 14, Caleb Johnson.
Tackle made by number 19, Darion Henry.
You'll see.
Wow, I thought he got a first down, but let's see on the replay.
Third down for Hamilton.
Oh, yeah, you can see the foot just slip out of bounds there. So it will be 3rd and 3 for Hamilton.
Really close.
Motion here, quick run up the middle, broken to the left by Stevens, and he'll get out of bounds.
And there's going to be a penalty for a late hit. 15-yard penalty. There's another personal foul.
You can see he was way out of bounds by the time he got pushed by the Viking defender. That's a tough 15 yards to give up.
I was surprised how he could keep his feet hurdling the bench there, so it's going to probably put them down inside the 20 here.
And, you know, with just a little push like that, you know, it's not much, but when you're running towards benches like that, you know, it's definitely a dangerous play to be pushing anyone when they're out of bounds. You can see Stevens finds a hole on the outside and just runs for it. And you can see the late hit when he's out of bounds. Makes him have to hurdle the bench over there.
I'm going to get a false start, I believe.
Yep, false start on Hamilton will back them up 5. You give 5 of those yards back.
False start. That backs him up. Still first down.
First and 15 now for Hamilton on the Princeton 28-yard line. Handoff up the middle for about 3 yards there by Johnson, the running back.
Johnson. Tackle made by number 79, Elijah Hale. And number 14, number 17, Levi Wilson. Second down.
Two minutes to go here in this third quarter.
Hamilton threatening here as they march into Princeton territory, but 2nd and 12 for him. As a fake screen, run up the middle by Stevens. Looked like he was going to throw it, but at the last second pulled the ball back in and got about 3 to 4 yards.
Tackle made by number 91, DJ Shirley. Third down for Hamilton.
You'll see on the replay, a little bit of extracurriculars there. You know it's a tough game, but when the whistle blows, you got to stop.
Been a lot of personal fouls tonight. Big third down here.
Run by 28, and he'll be pushed out of bounds behind the line of
number
scrimmage.
28, Stevens. Pushed out of bounds by number 11, Pete Baker. Fourth down for
It
Hamilton.
will be 4th and long here for Hamilton, as we have about a minute to go in the third quarter. Hamilton keeping the offense out here on 4th and 12. Back to pass. No, he'll take it up the middle, trying to get to the left, and no gain there.
That run was by number 28, Stevens.
Stevens just trying to do a little bit too much and
Tackle
ends
made by
up
number 7, Jermaine Whippy.
not getting anywhere near the first down
The
marker
Vikings
and
will take
turning it
over
over
downs.
to the Vikings. Some squandered field position for Hamilton as they get fairly deep into Princeton zone, but just can't convert with any points.
Yeah, I was looking for one of those passes that they scored on to start the half, but didn't look like that was going to happen. So 1 minute to go in this third quarter, Princeton takes over.
And with the way both of these teams have been playing heavy run, there haven't been a lot of possessions, you know, very much long possessions by both teams. So you wonder how many possessions Hamilton might have left after this one.
Yep, with the run, the clock will tick-tock.
Key getting to the outside. He'll stay in bounds and get about 4 yards.
Number 15, Trey Key. Tackle made by number 25, Walton. Second down for the Vikings.
Second down and 6 here for the Vikings. As the rain continues to fall as we get later into this night in Sharonville, Ohio at Princeton High School for their senior night. Run out to the left, cut back to the right by Key, and a number of flags fall in at the end there.
Looks like a face mask. 15, Trey Key, there is a flag on the play.
Number of late flags, and like Frank said, looked to be a face mask by one of the Hamilton defenders.
Personal foul.
And that is the
face
call.
mask on Hamilton.
And what looked to be about a 3rd and 5 will be first down.
And after that penalty, that gives you another Viking first down.
Yeah, you can see number 11, Luke Mattia, the tight end and linebacker. One of the very good linebackers for Hamilton, one of the top tacklers in the GMC, just hand creeping up by the face mask as we reach the last few seconds of the third quarter. We're through 3 here in Sharonville, Princeton High School. Score Princeton 21,
And at the end of the third quarter,
Hamilton
your Princeton
7.
Vikings 21. Hamilton.
Here on ICRC-TV. Coming up, we have our playback schedule for the game. Your chances to catch the game on ICRC-TV as well as anytime on ICRC-TV.com. You can see the Spectrum channel and the Phi Optics channel, and like I said, anytime on ICRC-TV.com.
You can catch us at 8 a.m. in the morning and have some coffee and donuts.
There you go.
Right after your holiday Halloween night. So don't have too much candy that night.
Stats through 3 quarters. Once again, Princeton 21, Hamilton 7. First downs, Hamilton 13, Princeton 10. Princeton leading the way in rush yards, 199 to 101. And tomorrow night, Laughlin versus St. Bernard at Woodland Place. A little bonus Friday night football, Friday night football Saturday edition.
Oh, that game ain't at Laughlin? It isn't at
That
Laughlin?
run was by number 31, James Price.
I'll have to check on that.
No,
that
it's
game
not
is
at
not
Laughlin.
live.
No, at
Second
Laughlin.
down for the Vikings.
Is that at Laughlin or at St. Bernard?
That one I'm not sure about. As a quick run, and it is 2nd and 8 for the Vikings. Some other stats. Princeton with just 2 yards passing on 2 completions, so definitely focusing on the run. Hamilton no sacks, Princeton 3 sacks today. As there is a run out to the right.
That run was by number 31, James Price.
Run was by number 31.
Yeah, that
James
game's
Price.
at Lockland. It's not at St. Bernard.
Ah, okay. Game actually at Lockland. So catch a replay of Friday Night Football tomorrow night on ICRC-TV. Once again, last week of regular season football here in Cincinnati. Week 10 after this
some
weekend.
teams, anyway.
Yeah, after this weekend, we'll find out who's continuing on next weekend to the playoffs.
Gonna have another false start, looks like.
Flag on the play. False start on the Vikings.
False start called on Princeton, and it will back them up and make it 3rd and 12.
So 10 minutes to go here in this ball game.
Princeton with a 3rd down. Back to pass. Looks to be a little screen, but overthrown.
Another personal foul, looks like.
A couple of flags are thrown.
Couple, I'm not sure what will be called here.
We'll see what the call is. Roughing the passer is the call on Hamilton. And there's an eligible man down the field on Princeton. Penalties offset, and they'll replay 3rd down. See the roughing the passer. Hosea gets hit low after the pass. Tough call there when you're running full speed, but you got to be able to stop and not hit the quarterback. And then on the other end, screen was set up, but with everyone past the line of scrimmage, it's an easy call for the legal man downfield. Replaying 3rd and 12 here with about 10 minutes to go. Back to pass again, deep pass down the right, way overthrown and almost intercepted by number 21, Leandre Pope. He has 3 picks so far, and man, that was really close to number 4.
Yeah, he's overthrown.
4th and 12 for Princeton, as they will have to punt the ball back to Hamilton here with about 10 minutes to go. And time is running short for Hamilton, so it's almost going into now or never time here on their last game of the season, last quarter of the season. If they want to get back into it, they need to start scoring here soon. Low snap.
Oh.
And ball is picked up and ran. Almost couldn't tell where the ball went. Very short kick. Looked to kind of come off the end of the foot, but a big run back by Hamilton. That was number 20, Elijah Spradling on the return. See number 20 there in the middle. Ball hits off of him, but he'll pick the ball back up, get to the outside. With a line drive punt like that, put you at risk no matter where you are on defense, but heads up play by Spradling to pick up the ball, and Hamilton now has good field position, getting the ball past where Princeton punted for him on the Princeton 40-yard line. Full house formation, something we haven't really seen.
That was the Wildcat there.
It'll be a handoff.
Finally seen it tonight.
And run by number 14, Johnson. Tackle made by number 7.
Caleb Johnson on the run. He'll get about 7 yards there. Here we go. Hamilton sticking with the formation. High snap, handoff to the left. Not a lot of room. Bounce to the outside. And looks to be a gain of about a yard or two, as it'll be 3rd and 2.
Tackle made by number 24, Jaheim Thomas. 3rd down for Hamilton.
As the bells ring for dinner time. Time to eat.
Last call for Hamilton's offense. See if they can try to get it. Handoff. A lot of pressure in the backfield, and Hamilton just lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Tackled by number 19, Darion Henry. 4th down.
Darion Henry again.
We're going to hear them bells again. I know it. Ding. Like you said, it's last call for supper.
Big 4th and 2 here as we come to 8.5 minutes left in the game. Handoff. Oh no, fake.
He had you.
Even fooled me up there in the booth by Stevens, as he will get the 1st down and a lot more.
Stevens for 1st down for Hamilton.
Seeing the replay. Handoff. Everyone except for our excellent camera crew was fooled on that one, as Stevens is able to bounce it to the outside and get a big 1st down to the 20-yard line. Handoff out to the left.
Oh,
able to get through some tackles.
It's going to be a touchdown.
And let's see at the line.
And it's going to be a touchdown.
Touchdown, Hamilton.
Nice play there. Run outside.
Touchdown for Hamilton.
Number 8, Williams with the touchdown.
I think that was a little tired at the end there.
Williams able to get it through.
Nice block.
Some good blocking as he cuts to the outside, and with one man to beat, he'll dive for the end zone and get that touchdown.
Big extra point here.
Oh, and there will be a flag thrown.
Flag on the play.
See a little bit of discussion. See if it's on the offense or the defense.
Usually a false start, or gonna have an offsides.
Okay. Offsides on the defense.
On the Vikings.
So it'll be about a yard. See if they still decide to kick it or try to get the 2-pointer.
I'd go for the kick here. But it is, the season has.
I don't know, based on some of the analytics, if you ask Pat Shurmur and the New York Giants from the Monday Night Football game, they'd say you go for 2 here.
Who's that? Who did you just say?
Pat Shurmur of the Giants on Monday night, down 14, going for 2. But they'll just kick it.
This when they were over in England. Who was it that went for 2 a couple times and lost?
Oh, the Titans going for 2 a couple times and end up losing by just 1 point to
and having all the momentum.
The Chargers. But Hamilton just takes the extra point, but they are within 7 points, as it is Princeton 21, Hamilton 14, with about 8 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. This could be a fun ending here on ICRC-TV with senior night here at Princeton High School.
Nice effort there by Hamilton, not quitting either.
Hamilton down in a big hole early, 14-0 at halftime. Score early, then go down 21-7. And like you've said, Frank, they've really fought back this entire game.
As a coach, that's all you can ask for when you're having this type of season too. Just no quit. Build on it for next year.
Like we said, last game of the season for both teams. Both teams having some tough seasons, but they both want to win, and the end of the season tone's a lot different when you end it on a high note. Hamilton looking to kick the ball off to Princeton. short kick, bouncing up, and is taken by Princeton.
Still not tackled.
Get the ball, broken tackle, and we'll get the ball up to about the 44-yard line.
By number 6, Jason Scarborough.
Jason Scarborough on the return there, able to fight through some people, break some tackles, and give Princeton very good field position to start this drive.
A little squib kick, and you can see Scarborough just took it to the middle of the field and got him a good return, so Princeton can start with great field position in this fourth quarter.
A couple of nice cutbacks there for Scarborough. 1st and 10 here for Princeton at the 45-yard line. Handoff up the middle to Key. Fighting forward for some more yards, but he'll only get about 1 there.
That one was by Trey Key, number 15. Tackle made by number 27, Jones.
Hamilton does have a timeouts here with 7:30 and counting. Down by 7.
Handoff to Key again, and is taken down in the backfield. Some big penetration by number 38.
Tackle for a loss by number 38. 3rd down.
Here you can see him trying to bust it outside, but great penetration by the defense here.
3rd and 10, as you can see, the big pull down.
So it's 3rd down here.
Be interesting. Princeton have only attempted a few passes so far, as they'll take a timeout here.
Timeout. Princeton
with the play clock running down, and they are down to only 1 timeout here, about halfway through the 4th quarter. We'll see if that comes back to be in play later here in the quarter.
At the conclusion of the game. We thank you in advance for your cooperation.
Be smart here and try to take some more time off the clock, a little draw or outside run, and make Hamilton take it like the football field to tie this game.
On the web at gncsports.com for all the latest information around the
Some
league.
updates around the league. Mason just took back the lead over Fairfield, 18-13, the 1-yard run. Just 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter there. Coming towards the end of the 3rd quarter in between Sycamore and Lakota East leads 28-14.
How much time?
About the end of the 3rd quarter.
Little inside handoff.
Run by Key up the middle. He will get about 2 yards, and it'll be 4th down. Other scores around the league. Middletown leading Oak Hills 21-6. And you can see just nowhere to go on there, as
smart decision, just keep that clock going, make them have to.
As Princeton has to punt, and the last score around the GMC, no shocker, Coleraine, big lead, leading Lakota West 49-0 as the punt goes. Good punt over the head.
Wow, almost.
And almost.
Still a nice punt.
Was able to get there, but it ends up going into the end zone. With some of the struggles Princeton's had in the punting game, I think you'll take a touchback at that point. Make them go 80 yards.
Almost got it to stop around the goal line, too. Watch this bounce, goes right over his head.
See, the ball just bounces right over Stevens' head, and smart block by him just to keep the defender away from downing it inside the 5. So it will be Hamilton ball at the 20-yard line with just under 6 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
Flag on the play. Too many men on the field for the Vikings.
Oh, flag for 12 men
First down.
on the field for Princeton. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty and make it 1st and 5 for Hamilton. Tough play, but even tougher when it's the beginning of the drive and the personnel's not figured out. Ball looks to be some miscommunication, but Stevens gets to the outside.
He's still on his feet.
Still on his feet and runs out of bounds near midfield. Big gain of over 20 yards by Stevens.
Same kind of game I seen a couple weeks ago. Princeton didn't play the 4 quarters and West ended up winning, so they're going to have to finish out if they want to win here.
You can see on the replay, almost looks like a missed handoff or maybe just a pulled in
a busted
keeper.
Play. It was a
but
busted
able
play.
to get to the outside and get a 20-yard gain there as it's 1st and 10 at the Hamilton 45. Run to the right, cut back, and it looks like he was slipped, or he was stripped. Number 8 for Hamilton, Davion Williams.
Second down for Hamilton.
Looks like he got about a yard there, so it'll be 2nd down and 9.
With 5 minutes to go in the ball game.
The full house Wildcat formation for Hamilton as a man goes in motion. He'll fake and try to throw the pass wide open in the corner, and they'll get about 15 yards.
Nice route run there by the wide receiver. You can see that was a timed play. It was the best. I want to say it was the best throw and the best route I've seen tonight.
Number 16, you can see everyone's paying attention to the run, but Scott just able to get to the outside and get a catch as we have a nice replay of some extra points there on the board. Run up the middle by Stevens for a 1st down. Hey, we're all volunteers. We're all trying our best, so you know it happens sometimes.
Tackle made by number 11, Pete Baker. 1st down for Hamilton.
1st down, Hamilton here at the Princeton 29, only down 7 with just over 4 minutes to go in the game here at Princeton High School. Handoff, and just a short gain by number 14, Caleb Johnson.
So for how dry this game has been, it's, I guess, for all the people that stay, they're going to reward you for a little excitement here in the end of the 4th quarter.
Interesting for Hamilton, as you said, a bright future. Their 2 leading rushers, Keyshawn Stevens, the sophomore, and Caleb Johnson, the freshman running back. So definitely definitely a future to look forward to if you're a fan of the Big Blue. And a flag comes in. It'll be a false start on Hamilton.
The flag is false start on Hamilton. Losing back for a little bit. Still 2nd down.
Big penalty there.
Big penalty is it'll back him up and make it about 2nd and 14. Handoff to the left, nowhere to go, and taken down.
That was a big tackle by Jermaine Wimpy, number 7.
Jermaine Wimpy, number 7, on the big tackle there to stop Davion Williams for a loss. And now it is 3rd and very, very long with time ticking very short here. In shared though. Hamilton does have all 3 timeouts, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Rolling out, Stevens will run it. Cut back, but only get about 4 yards there. You can see on the replay, Stevens rolling out to run it. Has a man open, but just with the defense bearing down on him, doesn't see it, and it'll be 4th and about 13.
Yeah, you can see that both teams are starting to legs and starting to get a little tired after the wear and tear in this weather, too.
Looks to pass. Ball thrown deep, wide open.
And it's going to be a touchdown.
Number 8 for the touchdown.
Wow.
Davion
What a
Williams.
breakdown.
Right open on the left side. Touchdown Hamilton, and they are just an extra point away from tying this game up.
It was a breakdown in the backfield on a 4th down and 13. Left wide open in the corner, and that's 2 passing touchdowns. They only had 2 passing touchdowns all season long.
Bringing it all for the last week as Hamilton lines up to go for 2 here.
Wow.
Guess it's senior night. Want to leave it all out on the field. Throw is tipped and intercepted by the big man, number 19.
Wow. Well,
Darian Henry.
Gotta say good for the guts there, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was number 79. Elijah Hale, the other big defensive lineman. And Hamilton now down 1 with 2:39 left. Does have all 3 of their timeouts.
You can see here, just telegraphed it too. He was throwing it there right from the start and just had him wide open breakdown. I don't know where the cornerback or the safety was.
Cornerback looked to take the up man, but whoever was on him, I don't know if that was the zones or what, but ball tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Good defensive possession there, though. Far from over, though, with 2:39 to go, and Hamilton has all 3 timeouts.
So Frank, what is the play here? I mean, you're only down 1. Do you try to onside kick it? Do you squib it and hope for a fumble, or just try to kick it deep?
You know, they've been squibbing it all night, and they were able to recover it once, so might as well keep doing what you're doing. Watch for the hands team.
Actually, no recoveries on the kickoff, but they did force a couple fumbles. Almost had a recovery right after they scored their first touchdown. So Hamilton kicking the ball off to Princeton. Princeton expecting an onside kick. You can see some of their hands team like number 15 Key out there.
It might have been Princeton that was able to recover that onside, right?
Yeah.
Or that squib.
So let's see. Short kick, fumbled, and there looks to be a dog pile for the ball, but they will call it Princeton ball. Look to be number 6, Jaden Scarborough, on the recovery. So Princeton will have it with just 2:36 left. Hamilton does have all 3 of their timeouts. You can see on the replay here, kick
still a nice
misplayed, but jumped on, and that was actually number 15 Trey Key that they went after, but able to jump on the ball and keep it away from any Hamilton defenders. Quarterback keeper here, and they'll lose a couple yards. Big hit there.
Quick
timeout.
Jose Harrison stopped in the backfield. Timeout, Hamilton.
With 2:27 left in the 4th quarter.
All you can do is tip your caps on their effort, though, with Hamilton not quitting. I mean, that's one thing I'll say about tonight. They've not quit all night.
Fans, be sure to follow us on the web at www.vikingsstadium.org.
So here we have Princeton leading Hamilton by 1 because of this 2-point conversion that Hamilton went for. That was ended up being picked off. Frank, why do you think they go for 2 there instead of trying to tie the ball game up?
One for the win. They seen how hard it's been to score tonight, but also they had, this is their championship. There's no playoffs, and they almost pulled it off there, but still they knew they had timeouts to still stop them and get another chance to score.
Hamilton once again 1-8 on the season, desperate for another win, trying to go for it, but we'll see if they can get the ball back here as another run up the middle and another quick timeout by Hamilton with just 2:19 left. Boyd on the run.
Timeout Hamilton.
3rd down and about 7 here for the Vikings. So one more stop, and Hamilton will at least have a chance to get the ball back.
Watch for the play action here. I can see Princeton trying to get the first down to win the game here.
And as you can see on the back of the Hamilton helmets, time is now, and the time is definitely now for the Hamilton defense to step up and try to get a stop if they want any hope of coming back and taking this game. Princeton coming back out here, 3rd down and 7 with just over 2 minutes here in the final game of the season for both teams. You can see the kicker warming up for Princeton, number 12, Bryce Burton.
Big 3rd down here. Let's see what they draw up. Look, there's an audible, so we're going to look for a pass here. Let's see what they call out of this audible. Little run outside.
And off to the right. Oh,
nice
and
tackle.
A big tackle to stop them short, and it will be the last timeout for Hamilton. 2:10 left. And it looks like Princeton will have to punt the ball back to Hamilton, and one defensive stop away from ending the season on the high note after a tough season for the Vikings. You can see Coach Mike Daniels there for the Vikings. Really kept this team together after a rough start with, of course, the early forfeits and a couple of tough losses.
You can see this end around here, and great job by Hamilton containing and not letting them bust it outside and saving the first down tackle. But like they were saying, Princeton's last 3 or 4 games have all been within 3 or 4 points, dating back to Lakota West and even Mason, so they've been in a lot of close games.
That's got to be tough for Princeton if you look back at what could have been. A few games, the games aren't forfeited, and a few bounces go the other way. They could be in prime position to, be playing next week.
Yep.
That's got to be tough on the Princeton coach, but all in all, I think he's done a great job of keeping his team focused, and, they're 2-10 away from another win and an important senior night win.
Always build on for next year, but I think what's going to be big is Hamilton's going to build off this for sure. So false start there.
You can see one of the backmen just taking a few steps back too early, and that's tough for Princeton, as every 5 yards that they're taking back is 5 yards that Hamilton might be closer to the end zone here with just over 2:10 left in the final quarter. Low snap.
Ooh,
and the ball looks like it got tipped. And it will be down at the 34-yard line.
So with 2 minutes, they're going to have 2 minutes to go down to at least get in the field goal range. You can see here on this punt block here by Hamilton.
Oh, big play there. Able to just get a few
if he would
fingers
have got the hand on it, you'd be seeing a lot of celebration. But with 2 minutes to go, no timeouts, all they need is a field goal.
As you see Hamilton start to set up.
Hopefully there's no breakdowns by the DBs like the last series.
Quick screen out to the right. That'll be a couple yards. Oh, and a fumble that is recovered by Princeton. Oh, number 13, Darian Bowling, has played a great game. A couple of big catches and a touchdown for the team, and tough ending for him as he fumbles the ball and it's recovered. And you can see the look on his face. He knows And you just feel for the high school kids, especially, you know,
still
kid like him. That
well, the effort they had to come back. Like I said, they're going to take a lot out of this loss, more than a lot of teams.
And you can look, I mean, Bowling, Stevenson, and Johnson all coming back, you know, all underclassmen. And you can see on the play there, just helmet to the ball.
Nothing you could do.
And recovered. Trey Key just up the middle, trying to run the clock out. Interesting to see. Interesting look, clock stop, see if what they're going to say.
Yeah, it's pretty much, there's no timeouts left, so this is pretty much ball game here.
Interesting to see what the conversation is between.
There's a flag on the play declared. False start.
Flag on the play. False start called, but they'll decline it, and it'll be second down to Princeton.
$150.
Clock being reset to 1 minute and 50 seconds here. It is second down. Handoff to the left. And it will be third down for the Vikings.
Trey Keys, third down for the Vikings.
Should be almost down to at least a couple seconds difference.
Yeah. Looks like, depending on when they start the play clock for the last one, Hamilton will only have a few seconds to maybe rile up some kind of trick play, unless Princeton can just get a first down here and end it. Hand up the middle. And there is a fumble on the play. Wow. And Hamilton will get the ball back with 41 seconds left.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Big play by the Hamilton defense to get the ball back.
Just when you thought it was over.
Just when you thought it was over. Hamilton will have 41 seconds to try to get in some sort of field goal range or kicking range, or field goal range or
Christmas came early. Here, they're going to hurry up here because they know the clock's going to stop right up.
Zach Welch, the kicker, has a long of 34 yards, so they're going to have to get pretty close to the end zone if they want any chance to try to get a field goal or a touchdown. Looks to be a throw. No, he'll run out of bounds with 33 seconds left. Stevens, a lot of time being wasted on that play. 8 seconds as they're down to just 33 seconds left in the game. Down 1 point here on senior night.
All they got to do is get a good play here. Dip into the goodie jar of good plays and trick them and see what happens.
See, Stevens been shown not to have a huge arm, but got to try to air it out down the field. We'll see. Scrambling around in the pocket, and he'll get taken down for a sack. And you can see Hamilton trying to rush back to the line. Clock is ticking. 16, 15,
They're
14,
going to run out of time here.
13, 10 seconds. They're going to snap the ball out to the left. 4 seconds. 3, 2.
That'll be ball game.
Did he get out of bounds in time? No, it's the end of the game, and Princeton takes the win 21-20 here on senior night in Sharonville at Princeton High School. Princeton improves to 3-7. Hamilton falls to 1-9. End of the season for both teams, but a great game and a lot to build on, Frank.
Yeah, it was a nice effort by the quid out of Hamilton. They'll build on it for next year.
As we said, final score, Princeton 21, Hamilton 20 here on ICRC-TV. Be sure to check out this game and a ton of other games here on Friday Night Football on ICRC-TV.com. For Frank Edwards and the rest of the ICRC-TV crew, I'm Greg Miller. Thanks for watching on ICRC-TV.